the federal house, we had only one in our kitty, which is the Aruchukwu Federal House.
Yeah.
Before I came on board, we lost the federal constituency, and we had also lost the Iswatu federal constituency to APC. So it was like 1/3, which is not a good result. And then we had also lost the but as I speak today, by the grace of God, the PDP in Abia North is in charge of the 5 local government areas. We have, in the last council election, we have been able to provide, to secure the government houses in Aruchukwu, LGA, or half where we are in total control. And as I speak, the hope of the party is very, very high, because by next year we'll be going for an election, and we hope to recover the seats we have lost in the federal house, and also the Senate seat. We are doing everything through mass mobilization, through sensitization, through voters' education, through community interaction, to make sure the people see reason why PDP. Of course, there are several of such reasons. If you watch at the trend in Nigeria today, a lot have changed. By the time PDP left power in 2015, for instance, the dollar was in the neighborhood of 150, 165, 179. Today, you cannot buy a dollar for 500 naira. As of the time we left power at that time, a bag of rice was at 8,500 naira. Today, despite all the funds which has been expended by the Central Bank of Nigeria through various dubious schemes, today a bag of rice is at the price of over 30,000 naira. So the suffering in the country is very massive, and the marginalization of people in the scheme of things, particularly at the center, has made our people to realize that the comfortable political terrain for them to dwell in is the PDP. So all these and several other factors are some of the few reasons why it is very, very absolutely clear that by the special grace of God, that as we venture into the 2015 election, that PDP is going to come out stronger in Abia North, and indeed the whole of Abia State.
Are you, by this your statement now, are you now saying that the assertion that APC, that Abia North is APC, is not true?
No, Abia North cannot be said to be APC. APC did, there was a political encroachment in 2015 by the APC. It was, and that encroachment was factored by certain dissentment within the PDP itself. Within the PDP itself. Because if you look at who is who in the party, in the party in Abia North, you find out that almost everybody is a member of the PDP. Everybody. You understand? So what you see today, what they call APC, is a kind of aggregate members. You understand? People who have played big time role in the PDP in the past. So, and those factors led to a kind of them having access of one or two places. You understand? So, but the fact that, as I speak today, that we are not talking of transition chairman. We are talking of elected chairman of council, elected. The 5 local governments are being managed by
the PDP.
By the PDP. By the PDP. And all 11 councillors in Aruchukwu, 11 councillors in Ohafia, 13 councillors in Bende, 10 councillors in Ishuto, 12 in Umudochi. All of them are PDP. And this is grassroots. All of them are PDP.
Now, are you telling
and we also have majority of members in the State House of Assembly.
Considering what happened in 2015 or in 2019 last election, that the APC, you said, encroached into some of your grounds in Abia, and you say there are some issues. Have those issues within the party be resolved enough to make sure that you have a guarantee of 2023?
Yes, those issues are being taken care of. And even most of the members who were aggrieved, most of them have come back to the party. A lot of them have come back to the party. One of our commissioners, as I speak today, the commissioner for sports, yes. From Ben, the local government area, the commissioner was in Abia. Today he is of the PDP. So there are many of such persons. We have seen card-carrying members of APC in Aruchukwu local government area, in Ben, the local government area, in Isukwato local government area, in Ohafia local government area. We have seen them in their hundreds and thousands trooping back to the PDP.
So you are saying that in 2023 that the PDP would dislodge the Senatorial?
We are going to take over the ground.
Dislodge Oyojocha and dislodge Ben Carlo?
We are going to take over our ground.
Okay.
That is what I'm saying.
Okay, let's move to another very interesting issue. Of course, PDP has been in the helm of affair for quite some time in Abia State now. And so many parties. Last time we had the party chairman of ADC in the House, Obin Adon. He said that the PDP do not even have a moral right to present a candidate for 2023 gubernatorial because they are the ones that have destroyed Abia. In quotes, that is his word. What is your take on that?
Well, technically speaking, I will not respond to Don Norman. The reason why I will not respond to him is very, very simple. AGC does not exist in the political lexicon of Abia politics. They don't exist. And in democracies all over the world, you are seen to exist if you have ever won an election. ADC was registered as a political party several years ago. And till date, they have not been able to secure one councillor in Abia State. They have not been able to secure one local government in Abia State. They have not been able to have one person represent the party, the interests of the party, the manifesto of the party in the Abia State House of Assembly. No federal constituency is being represented by a member of the AGC. There is no senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria who is a member of the ADC. There is no representative in Nigeria in the House of Representatives who is a member of ADC. So on what basis will the largest political party in Africa join issues with if I ask you as a journalist, you are well exposed, and there are current issues. If I ask you who is the secretary of PDP, you tell me it's Mr. David, because everybody knows him. If I ask you who is the chairman of the PDP, everybody knows it's Right Honorable Allwell Asifo. You understand? I mean, primary school children will answer that question. Beyond Don Norman, who came to public light as a result of his involvement in PDP government, beyond him, can you name one person in the whole of Abia State who is a member of ADC? Where is their office located in Umuahia?
Their office located along Azikiwe, close to your office.
In their office, and it's not visible.
Very close to your office.
If to rent, you see, to rent a property.
And recently they have been moving from local government, even a local government years ago, where they showcased their ESCO members in Aruchukwu local government.
That is all something which is being arranged. They don't. Let me tell you, they will be seen to exist.
Okay.
PDP will respond to issues coming from APC because they control the national government. Because in this state they have a senator. In this state, they have members of federal, who are in the federal house.
Yes.
You understand? In this state, they have members in the House of Assembly. We'll respond to them. PDP will respond to Abia. Because even in the southeast, they have a serving governor. In Abia State House of Assembly, they have a member. The PDP, as a party,
will not respond
to any political party that has not been able to secure the confidence of a ward in Abia State as to be able to control a ward. You understand? And just a party that decides to create nuisance and distraction for PDP, we would not respond to them.
Okay, so now we have you in the house. I'm very grateful about that. Also recently, the state chairman of Abia, Reverend Augustine Emery, has recently said that PDP is also the problem of Abia State. That the lack of, is in quote, in his own position, that the lack of leadership in progress in Abia State, in his own words, as a result of PDP. Now you can respond to that.
Now, yes, I will respond to that. Now, if there is anything called political leadership in Abia State, whether positive or negative, if there is anything called political education in Abia State, if there is anything called political engineering in Abia State, as of today, it is still as have been provided by the PDP. You see, you don't do outright condemnation without a kind of a comparative analysis. You understand? You don't do it. What have they provided in Abia State? You understand? What have they provided which we have not provided better? In the House of Assembly, they have a member. Is he the best member in that House of Assembly? In terms of capacity to represent his people? In terms of capacity to attract the dividends of democracy for his people? The answer is capital no. So on what basis is he talking when he has not been able to show us something better or present something better anywhere in the 17 local government area of our state? He would have been making a point if over the years they have been able to take over a local government and provide something better. That can only be the basis. He would have been able to make a point if they have a senator at the level of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria who has represented Abia better than Senator T.A. Oji, distinguished Senator T.A. Oji, who have represented Abia better than distinguished Senator Elinaya Abalibe. It is only then that you don't say these things without anything to compare. There are no basis. We are still the best in terms of everything. And that is why, if you look at the other parties, let me tell you, if politics is to be UEFA, or if politics is to be the English League, PDP is that club that has provided all the professionals in the other club.
Is that so?
Yes. All the major political players in Abia State who are not presently of the PDP became stars first in the PDP before they were considered irrelevant by the other parties. Oji Ozokalo was a governor in our state. First and foremost, he was a star in PDP. And today he's starring in APC.
So, listen, the fact that he's starring at the moment.
Already he's not starring. When you talk of stars, you don't talk of moon.
You say he's starring.
No, listen. When you talk of star, you don't talk of moon. When you talk of star, there are many stars. It's only moon which is your star. So
when he was in PDP, he was the right star.
When I did no. Don't listen to me again. Okay. When he was in PDP, he was a star, a celebrated star.
Now in APC.
And when he went to PDP, he has become, you see, look at the sky and you see several stars. You understand? He's a star. I cannot take it away from him. But he's not more of a star than Senator T.A. Algy. He's not more of a star than Senator Naya Baribe.
Okay.
You understand? Then Naya Oyediocha was a star. He served our government as a TC chairman. He served our government as a commissioner. He contested the election under our government and became a member of the Federal House.
Yes.
You understand? So the history of his political life cannot be established by any way without mentioning
the PDP.
The PDP. You understand? So you understand?
I get your point there. I have another question, which is also a party question also. There are allegations that your party is one of the causes of the crisis in the APC. There are some APC members that are PDP members, and there are APC members that your party is causing confusion in that party. Is any truth about that?
That our party?
Yes, the APC, the PDP.
But I want to tell you that APC is not causing any crisis in PDP. Because they don't have the wherewithal.
No, that the PDP is causing crisis in the APC.
No. I said I want to tell you that the APC is not causing any crisis in PDP. They are not causing any crisis.
At least for the moment, PDP is not in crisis.
You understand? If
APC is.
Let me tell you, their crisis is because it's they are an amalgamation of strange fellows. Strange fellows. You understand? They are an amalgamation of strange fellows. That is their biggest problem. You understand? And to be honest with you, you can call it political strategy. If my party is able to cause crisis in their party, then it means that they have to come back to us and learn a lot of lessons.
Okay, we are still in the show. The show is Focal Point, and we still have Elder Abraham Amah in the studio, where we are discussing political issues, and of course we'll look into other national issues as we progress. So, Elder, thank you for still being with us. Okay, let's go to the national. Before the national convention, it was as if the party was shaking, but after the national convention, your party seems as if they came together again, and it has been moving. What is your take on the success of the national convention and moving forward?
The PDP was the first political party in Nigeria that was able to air their national conventions in as far back live transmission. They are the first, you understand. And the PDP government again in the National Assembly, beginning from 1999, was the first time we saw the deliberations of the National Assembly being aired live. What that means is that the PDP is a very, very transparent government. They don't have anything to hide. You understand? And we have had crises, but just like families do have their crises, in every crisis we have, by the grace of God, we come back stronger. You know, when the likes of Modu Sharif did so much to tear apart the very foundation of our party. You understand? Before the 2019 election, you know how many states we were controlling in this country. Everybody felt that we are gone. You understand? But after that election, we were able to claim all those states, most of the states, which they had earlier encroached. You understand? We were able to claim those states, which they had earlier encroached. Just as I said, we are going to claim those areas they have encroached. So, our party, yes, in Abia North, our party is a party that is known for crisis management, one of the best in Africa. You see, another major party in Africa is the African National Congress. But for some time, ANC. But for some time, you see, they have not been able to manage the crisis. It's not the same with our party. You understand? We have capacity, we have men, we have women, we have people who are experienced. I was a member of one of the subcommittees for that national convention, and we worked tirelessly, not for money, but because we are all committed to make sure that the bag of rice cannot continue to stay at 30,000 naira per bag, because it's not sustainable, because people will die of hunger. We are committed to make sure that naira cannot be exchanged for close to 600 naira to $1, because we know the implications to the price of goods and services in the marketplace and the impact, you understand, on the wages of our people. Because very recently, for instance, the vice president made a statement that when he was
electoral,
that he was earning 650 naira, and for him as an APC man, it means today lecturers are earning more. But he failed to tell Nigerians that as of that time, naira was exchanged to dollar for $0.61. I'm not talking of $1 to a naira. It was the exchange rate in 1981 was less than $1 to a naira. You understand? Less than $1 to a naira at that time. And he also failed, which means that that amount of money he's talking about, if you change it to naira, you understand? If you change it to naira, it was well over $1,000. Mm-hmm. It was well over $1,000, which is about 450,000 today. You understand? But that which is well over 550,000. And as of that time, the school fees in government secondary schools in this country was 30 naira. But in houses was 60. At that time, I was a student of Welfare Comprehensive Secondary School, Abia. At that time, I could eat during holidays. If I go to Abia, that is the new market, Umba Road Market, to assist my uncle, you understand, who used to be the chairman of that market. At that time, I could, that is when I'm hungry, they give me 20 naira. And that 20 naira will have rice, it will have beans, it will have assorted meat, it will have fish.
That was balanced diet.
I'm telling you, with 20 naira at that time, you will be very, very full. You understand? But today, a lecturer who earns 90,000 naira, how many bags of cement can he buy? For instance, can he pay the school fees of his ward? You understand? It's impossible. So when PDP says they want to recover Nigeria, they mean every word that we want to recover Nigeria.
But of course, you are aware that before the 2015, one of the strongest points that was against the PDP was corruption. And there were a lot of allegations of corruption up and down everywhere. Do you think Nigerians have forgotten those kind of allegations?
Okay, now let me be a little bit, probably let me make you laugh. I have heard Nigerians say that if PDP was a very, very corrupt government and rice was able to sell for 8,000 naira, and APC is an incorruptible government and rice is selling for 30,000 naira, that they want that corruption. I have heard it. That they want that corruption. You understand? If that is the meaning of corruption, to sustain the price of fuel in less than 100 naira, excuse me, excuse me, sir, to sustain the price of fuel in about 60-something naira for a very long time, you understand? And those who were not corrupt are unable. Right now, it is on their neck. For the first time, Nigeria is the first country in the history of OPEC. OPEC, all producing and exporting countries. You understand? That cannot sustain its own budget. That is the first. And today we are told that 80% of our budget for the past 3 years is being funded through consistent borrowing. At every given time, they are borrowing.
Okay.
You understand? And all our national assets have been mortgaged. I mean all our national assets. Very, very soon. You understand? Except for the quick intervention of PDP. You understand? Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport at Enugu, at Abuja, at Kano Airport at Enugu, the airport at Port Harcourt, and the Terminal 1 at Lagos.
Most of these airports were not mortgaged.
You understand?
They were given out to private
listen.
companies to rob.
Let me correct you. The only airport which is being managed on concession for 25 years is MM2 Lagos. Get the record straight. MM2 is the only airport in Nigeria which was given out MM2. That is the Terminal 2.
Yes.
You understand? Terminal 1 is operated by government. That is why it's cheaper. Even for the airline. That is why in Lagos, most airlines prefer to go to Terminal 1. Those in Terminal 2 are those who don't have parking space and other infrastructure within Terminal 1. Abuja is under the control of government. But as I speak to you now, all these airports have become collateral to the Chinese government. And sooner or later, as they have done in most African countries, we are turning
at the moment, this particular information is not yet public.
It's public.
So no, we're not public because we have had access to most of the documents as regards even the loans.
Can you refer?
It has not been stated in the contract.
Quote me.
The only clause in those contracts is that any loan given by the Chinese, any facilities used to build, the Chinese may take over if Nigeria fails to pay.
What are you talking about?
So you don't.
Let me tell you now. We are saying the same thing. It's semantics. Listen, we are saying the same thing. It's semantics. We are saying the same. We say that the fund for building
is being used to build
the fund for building Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport is borrowed. Please take note of that.
But not from the Chinese.
It's borrowed. Listen, borrow is borrow. I don't want to say now. The fund for building Akademi Airport is borrowed. The fund for building Port Harcourt Airport is borrowed. The fund for building Terminal 1 Airport is borrowed. These funds are borrowed. Yeah.
Okay, let's not overstay on that issue. Okay, let's look at another issue that's also very interesting. Nigerians are actually interested in this issue also, and especially the Southeast and Indigo. They are saying that because in your party at the moment there have been a particular governor left your party from the Southeast, saying that your party do not have a plan to give Southeast the presidency control 23, and then there have been other agitations in your party. There are people who have said from the north, a Bauchi State governor have said that he is running for this presidency. He's going to run, not going to stop him. Some people in your party have said that there is no need for zoning. What is your take as a party man? What is your take against or for Igbo presidency?
Well, first and foremost, an average PDP man wants the party to take over the national government. Point blank. We want the party to take over the national government. That is because we cannot continue to fold our hands and allow this decadence to continue. And then, two, as an Igbo man, we want restructuring. We truly want restructuring. And because we know that you can have the president without being able to control the government. Because when we talk about democracy, it's a game of majority. Where no matter how reasonable, no matter how intelligent the minority are, their own intelligent majority still take over. You understand? Then, three, we believe that we have Igbo men and women who have the capacity to drive this restructuring, who have the capacity to recover Nigeria, who have the capacity to make Nigeria a great country in the community of nations. There are many of them. And beyond Igbo, we have Nigerians. I have heard prominent Yoruba people speak. I have heard people from the north speak. And these people are saying that Ndi Igbo should be given an opportunity. Because we have excelled in commerce. We have excelled in the industry. We have excelled in the Igbo land today is the most attractive part of Nigeria. in terms of the ability of the people to develop their area. Igbo communities, I mean local communities, many of them are the very best. If you want to talk of the first 20 communities in Nigeria today, of course you will be naming Igbo communities. If those Igbo communities are not in Anambra, they are in Imo. If they are not in Imo, they are in Abia. If they are not in Abia, they are in Ebonyi. If they are not in Ebonyi, they are in Enugu State. So people believe that for such a race that has been able to develop themselves and to add value not only to themselves but to the whole of Nigeria. Because if you go to Lagos today, the entire private infrastructural development in the whole of the Federal Capital Territory, over 50% of it is credited to Ndi Igbo. Over 50% of the hotels in Abuja is credited to Ndi Igbo. If you go to any state in Nigeria today, Ndi Igbo comes second to the owners of the land in terms of contributions for the advancement of such community. It doesn't matter whether the community is Surulere, whether the community is Sanfil, whether it's Ilado, whether it's Lekki. It doesn't matter whether the facility is in Kefi, Federal Capital Territory, is in Kaduna. The truth about it, whether it's wherever, Ndi Igbo comes second after the owners of the community. And we are first and foremost, we have been able to distinguish ourselves as Nigerians. We are proud Nigerians. I read the last week in one of the papers that a deputy commissioner of police serving in Lagos Command had told an Igbo man who bought a property close to his own house in Yola that the man must leave the place. That Igbos cannot allow others to buy land in their place. I laugh. If any Yoruba man, any Fulani man really want to do any investments or wants to develop a real estate in any Igbo land, let them come. They will have access to such a piece of land. So the Igbos have the competencies, they have the integrity, they have the capacity to drive a Nigeria that will recover Nigeria and Nigerians and make all of us proud of our country.
So you support Igbo presidency country?
I support.
Okay, let's move to another issue which is also on the front burner today. Yesterday, the news broke that ASU have have declared a 1-month strike. The 1-month strike is like a warning strike also before they go for indefinite strike. And there have been a lingering issue with an agreement they signed during the PDP time of revitalization of the university, which the last government of PDP, Jonathan administration, paid some part of the money and did not pay as much as in remaining years they didn't pay up. But the APC came into government and they've been struggling to pay that revitalization fee. And at the moment, that's the key issue of this strike and other personal issues of ASU welfare. What is your take? Is this strike upon strike not taking the educational sector back, and what do you think is the way forward?
Well, it's unfortunate. What is happening with ASU and what is happening with the federal government is unfortunate. And in all this, those who suffer are the common people. They are the people who suffer because most of the well-to-do, their children are either studying overseas or they're in private universities. And most of these private universities don't have issues of strike. Those who are studying abroad don't have issues of strike. And this issue have lingered for long. And I believe that corruption is part of the problem. Because, you see, PDP have done a lot for our country. And one of the things PDP did, if you look at any existing institution in this country, whether it is EFCC, established to fight corruption, whether it is state fund, established to provide education support for either teachers, university teachers, or infrastructure, whatever it is, all these institutions were established by the PDP government. All of them were established by the PDP government. And if you see the kind of money that passes through TED Fund and other institutions of government, if good use has been made with this money, we will not remain where we are. That is one of the problems. The other problem is that something went wrong several years ago. You know, the technical polytechnics was established for those who are technically inclined. And the College of Education was established for those who have flair for teaching and who love the teaching job. But along the line, there was a kind of suppression on polytechnic graduates, College of Education graduates, and everybody wants to become a university graduate. Now, Nigeria is the only country in the world where everybody wants to be a university graduate. And university education is very expensive all over the world. There is no country, apart from very few countries like Libya, United Arab Emirates. These are very small countries. Many of them, United Arab Emirates is not up to the size of Abia. It's not up to the size of Abia State. These small countries are the only countries that have come out to say, if we have a child who is ready for university education, that will give you scholarship. But all the countries in Europe, they don't give. You understand? You pay, the school fees are very, very high. In most of the universities in UK, for instance, the average cost of university education for a UK citizen is between $5,000 to $8,000 per pounds. Between $5,000 to £8,000. And then international students, it is between 15,000 to 24,000 or 33,000 in most universities. 33,000 pounds for international students. So now let's forget about the international students. Let's look at what they pay for a local student. Check what $5,000 a pound is, or what 8,000 pounds is. The same thing is applicable in Germany. The same thing is applicable in Switzerland. And all the countries, even in America, they pay a lot of money. And that is why in America, many poor families, what they do, immediately their child graduates from the high school, which we call senior secondary school, you join the military and serve for between 5 to 10 years and resign. If you are in the military, for instance, at the age of 18, you enter the military. By the age of 28, you have resigned. Then you can now get a scholarship to study university education. And you are, at that point, you are already an ex-serviceman. And at that point, you can enjoy scholarship because you have served your country. But Nigeria is a country where every Dick and Harry wants to be a university education. The worst now is that every Dick and Harry wants to be a PhD holder. Yes, every Dick and Harry wants to be a PhD holder. And some of our universities have handed over PhD certificates to people who cannot defend first degree projects.
Okay, let's focus on this.
I understand. Yes. So it's a problem. So we must come back to the drawing board and ask ourselves, who are those who are actually qualified for university education? Who are those? It cannot be everybody. The rates at which everybody wants to go to university, and many people who you find out that they are very empty, and yet they want to go to university. Empty. Because as a girl, maybe it's a gateway to be married by a responsible man. Because you are a graduate.
It's an added advantage.
It's an added advantage. And many of these so-called graduates have not been able to pass any aptitude test. And that is why they don't get a job. They don't pass aptitude tests. So they end up in computer villages. They end up as sales girls after graduate because it is sorting education. Education where as you go, you sort out. You sort in and sort out. And after some time, even your project, somebody writes it for you. You understand? Somebody writing for project for you. On the day of project defense, you have to gather some envelope and give some people, and they will tell you 2-3 questions that will ask. After some time, they will say you can go.
You can go.
You can go.
You're free to go.
You are free to go. So after some time, they carry this thing.
So university have been bastardized. That's what you are trying to say.
It has been bastardized. We have to tell ourselves the truth. And there was a policy of federal government which they took some years ago. When you say that those who have, I may not be exactly, but those who have maybe 200 and above should go to university. Those who have 150 should go to polytechnic. Those who have 100 should go to college of education. The question is, are you telling us that our schools will be managed by teachers who are dullars?
That's not good enough.
You understand? So we deprive, and even polytechnic left the core courses which they were supposed to offer. The only thing that your polytechnics are not offering today is medicine. You understand? They are offering almost everything.
They are offering technical courses.
You understand? They were supposed to be offering civil engineering, electrical engineering, you understand, and other technically related to something. But they are not doing that. They want, you said, for whoever is the what do they call them? Rector or whatever. For them, it is all about opening wide the doors for more students to come so that they can make internally generated revenue and have more money to deal with and to spend.
Okay, let's go into another issue which has also been trending recently. You, of course, you're aware of the Super Cup. The Super Cup Abia who had issues earlier on with Interpol, with a court in the US demanding his extradition to the US to face corruption charges relating to the popular hush puppy. And that has been on for a while. And the NLA, the drug agency in Nigeria, brought a video where they showed him getting involved in allegedly getting in drug peddling, in drug transactions. And now, based on this, do you think that assertion that most Nigerians, that you can hardly see a corrupt-free security man, do you think that it is not supporting that fact?
Well, like Nigeria, the corruption that has eaten deep in our country has cut across in every sector of our national life. It goes beyond the police. You understand? Officers in the army are claiming that those who are fighting Boko Haram, they are claiming that many of them don't have even good weapons. That most of their weapons are obsolete weapons.
Also hungry.
When I went to Lagos newly, after my secondary school, I used to see military trucks that carry prepared food and deliver in strategic places where they had military checks, like the Federal Radio Corporation in Ikoyi and other places. So when it is morning, you see them, they will come. When it is afternoon, I lived in Obalende. When it is afternoon, you see they will come. When it is evening, you see the truck will come. People will say food items will come down. You see those type of items. But you don't see that now. You don't see that now. If a military man is walking somewhere between the forest of Ore and Bini, he is on his own. Nobody sees it necessary to provide drinking water for a man you have kept in that type of a place. And we all know the consequences of not drinking enough water to our kidneys. And for somebody who has been exposed to so much sun. So some people, because of the survival instinct on them, even where they are not correct, as you are passing, they will say anything for pure water. And you can dip in your hand pocket and give them for pure water. In very recent time, I have come across more of police who will not necessarily insist that if you don't give them 5,000, they will kill you. But who will tell you, your men are here. Do you have anything for us? Many of them are suffering. Many of them don't even have where they sleep very well. Now, I am telling us how we have been able to create a monster. It is not a defense for the likes of Abakari. But I'm telling you that beyond Abakari, this is
Nigerian government to do more.
Yes, therefore, Abakari is very, very unfortunate. It's very, very unfortunate. But you see, Nigeria is a country of media trial. We once had that a former minister of petroleum had a gold-plated braziers, and it took over 4 or 5 years for the head of the EFCC to tell us that it's a lie during an interview. And he said, and I quote, that I was the head of that operation, of that search, that there was nothing like that. Why did you take you several years to have been? A lot of people cast aspersion, abuses, and whatever to that woman. I'm not giving her a clear certificate.
Of course, but there are so many other things that were recovered from.
Yeah, they were good. They should have dwelled on those ones, but they decided. And the mere fact that they were able to plant such a falsehood also gives lack of credibility, even on the one they claim. You understand? The one they claim, because part of the problem of our country is that the structure, as I said, is skewed. I don't know whether, for instance, if you serve as a governor in this country, ordinarily, by the time you leave, you should be a billionaire. If you would have been corrupt. If you serve as a governor of Central Bank, by the time you leave, you are a billionaire. Because we know that you can have a president without being able to control that. Because democracy is a game of majority. Where no matter how miserable, no matter how the minority are, the all intelligent majority still take over. You understand? Then, 3. actually qualified for university education.
Okay.
Who are those? It cannot be everybody.
Okay.
The rate at which everybody wants to go to university, and many people who you find out that they're very empty, and yet they want to go to university empty, because as a girl, maybe is a gateway to be married by a responsible man, because you are a graduate.
It's an added advantage.
It's an added advantage. And many of these so-called graduates have not been able to pass any aptitude test, and that is why they don't get a job. They don't pass aptitude test, so they end up in computer villages. They end up as sales girls after graduate, because it is sorting education where as you go you sort out, you sort in and sort out, and after some time, even your project, somebody writes it for you. You understand? Somebody writing for project for you on the day of project defense. You have to gather some envelope and give some people, and they will tell you 2-3 questions that will ask. After some time, they will say you can go.
You can go.
You can go.
You're free to go.
You are free to go. So after some time, they carry these things.
So university have been bastardized. That's what you are trying to say.
It has been bastardized. We have to tell ourselves the truth. And there was a policy of federal government which they took some years ago, when you say that those who have I may not be exactly, but those who have maybe 200 and above should go to university. Those who have 150 should go to polytechnic. Those who have 100 should go to college of education. The question is, are you telling us that our schools will be managed by teachers who are dullars?
That's not good enough.
You understand? So we deprive, and even polytechnic left the core courses which they were supposed to offer. The only thing that your polytechnics are not offering today is medicine. You understand? They are offering almost everything.
Offering technical courses.
You understand? They were supposed to be offering civil engineering, electrical engineering, you understand, and other technically related to something. But they are not doing that. They want you said for whoever is the what do they call them? Rector or whatever. For them, it is all about opening wide the doors for more students to come, so that they can make internally generated revenue and have more money to deal with and to spend.
Okay, let's go into another issue which has also been trending recently. Of course, you are aware of the Super Cup. The Super Cup Abia, who had issues earlier on with Interpol, with a court in the US demanding his extradition to the US to face corruption charges relating to the popular hush puppy. And that has been on for a while. And yesterday, the NDLEA, the drug agency in Nigeria, brought out a video where they showed him getting involved in allegedly getting involved in drug peddling, in drug transactions. And now, based on this, do you think that assertion that most Nigerians have, that you can hardly see a corrupt-free security man, do you think that it is not supporting that fact?
Well, Nigeria is Nigeria. The corruption that has eaten deep in our country has cut across in every sector of our national life. It goes beyond the police. You understand? Officers in the army are claiming that those who are fighting Boko Haram, they are claiming that many of them don't have even good weapons. That most of their weapons are obsolete weapons.
Also hungry. They are also hungry.
When I went to Lagos newly, after my secondary school, I used to see military trucks that carry prepared food and deliver in strategic places where they had military checks, like the Federal Radio Corporation in Ikoyi and other places. So when it is morning, you see them, they will come. When it is afternoon, I lived in Obalende. When it is afternoon, you see they will come. When it is evening, you see the truck will come. People will say food items will come down. You see those type of items. But you don't see that now. You don't see that now. If a military man is walking somewhere between the forest of Ore and Benin. He is on his own. Nobody sees it necessary to provide drinking water for a man you have kept in that type of a place. And we all know the consequences of not drinking enough water to our kidneys. And for somebody who has been exposed to so much sun. So some people, because of the survival instinct on them, even where they are not correct, as you are passing, they will say anything for pure water. And you can dip in your hand pocket and give them for pure water. In very recent time, I have come across more of police who will not necessarily insist that if you don't give them 5,000, they will kill you. But who will tell you, your men are here. Do you have anything for us? Many of them are suffering. Many of them don't even have where they sleep very well. Now, I am telling us how we have been able to create a monster. It is not a defense for the likes of Abakari. But I'm telling you that beyond Abakari, this is...
The Nigerian government need to do more.
Yes, the Nigerian government. Yeah. Therefore, Abakari is very, very unfortunate. It's very, very unfortunate. But, you see, Nigeria is a country of media trial. We once had that a former minister of petroleum had a gold-plated braziers. And it took over 4, 5, 6, 7 years for the head of the EFCC to tell us that it's a lie during an interview. And he said, and I quote, that I was the head of that operation, of that search, that there was nothing like that. Why did it take you several years to have been? A lot of people cast aspersion, abuses, and whatever to that woman. I'm not giving her a clearance certificate.
Of course, but there are so many other things that were recovered from.
Yeah, they were good. They should have dwelled on those ones, but they decided. And the mere fact that they were able to plan such a falsehood also gives lack of credibility, even on the one they claim. You understand? The one they claim, because part of the problem of our country is that the structure, as I said, is skewed. I don't know whether, for instance, if you serve as a governor in this country, ordinarily, by the time you leave, you should be a billionaire. If you would have been corrupt. If you serve as a governor of Central Bank, by the time you leave, you are a billionaire. Even without necessarily being corrupt. And part of the problem is that even the Salaries and Wages Commission have not been able to make the public to know what these people is due to them. So once they go to one bank account and see 50 million, they say that man is a thief. Is a thief. But the question was that how much were you giving him in office? You understand? In most cases, they will say he was earning less than 2 million naira salary. But what of the other benefits? That runs into several millions. You understand? So, the issue of Abakari, I will not want to deal with the media trial. Because this is another media trial. The first media trial has not been inconclusive. And they have come into another media trial. After some time now, you hear that he has gone back home. You understand? That he has gone, yes, it's another media trial. Because what I suspected, if I'm the president of Nigeria, I would not have allowed Abakari to be taken to America. Okay. If I was the president of Nigeria.
Even if you find the...
Yes, even if I find the guilty, he would not go to America. For national pride. He did not commit that offense in the United States.
No, but Nigeria signed
Listen. Those things should apply. If, for instance, a Nigerian is involved in drug or some other crime in America, and he ran to Nigeria, you understand? And the authorities find out that he's in Nigeria. American government, the treaty they have signed, expect them to arrest him and return him to Nigeria. But if Mr. BBB, CCC, have committed an offense in Nigeria, and on the cost of Americans investigating the crime for which their citizen was swindled in America. For which their citizen was swindled in America. It is the place of American government to provide those evidences to Nigeria and let Nigeria, you understand, prosecute him here, except when the citizen, because in the past there used to be a provision whereby the candidate, the suspect, they used to ask the person, do you want to be tried in Nigeria?
Choose where to be tried.
Yes. So because of the condition of our prisons, the person may choose USA. You understand? But other than that, I don't want to dwell.
Okay, we're winding down our discussion this hour. I'm still with Elder Abraham Amah in the studio, where we're discussing so many issues, state issues, national issues, and in the final note, we'll be coming back to the state, Abia State, to discuss just one vital issue before we round up for the day. Elder, of course, you have been a member of PDP for a long time, and you have been part of the people that made this government possible, the government of Governor Kezipazo in 2015. And this is, he has about a year plus now to round up. Although, yes, we could actually score him properly at the end of 8 years, out of that, but as an Abian now, not as a party man, what do you think, how would you assess the government of Governor Kezipazo?
Well, Governor Kezipazo has done very, very well in the area of small and medium enterprises. At least all the rating agencies in Nigeria recognize that.
Yes.
The Central Bank of Nigeria recognize that. The African Development Bank recognize that. The World Bank recognize that. So both in Nigeria and in the diaspora, the fact that a governor has come, that as when I joined politics, when I was a political advisor to Governor Ochikalo, if you see some of my pictures at that time, I was always putting on suits. But see how we dress today. You understand? We are proud. Even if I'm traveling to New York tomorrow, I will dress Abia. We have become, he has helped us to create an identity, which is far becoming a Nigerian identity. You know, before now, when we were growing up as young people, we used to hear of Agbada 1005.
Yes.
And to be very honest, even when we went to Lagos, you understand, it was just as if to say the Igbos are the people who did not really have anything to identify them. Apart from the Isiago, which an average Igbo young man felt it was for the old people. You understand, not for the because of the condition of Isiago. It's not something you put on. You understand, because of our temperature, the tropical temperature. You understand, you really feel hot. So it's not something you can use at hustle. You understand, but today, Governor Okezie have changed that narrative. And because of that, for the first time in Nigeria, we have seen Abia coming second in terms of foreign FDI, yes, what they call foreign direct investment. You understand, foreign direct investment. Abia has come second. All these things have nothing to do with politics. These are, you understand, calculations that takes place at the level of the central bank, where there is a window where this money is coming, and the purpose for which they are coming in is clearly stated. You understand? And then their destinations, they are coming to Nigeria, yes, but their destination in Nigeria are recorded. You understand? And then all the intelligence agencies are monitored. So we have seen that through the activity of Governor Okezie, that we have a very big, we have opened up a very big market. You understand? We have opened up a very, very big market. And I am sure very, very soon, you understand, we are going to see Abia. Abia will be represented in most of the malls, in Dubai, in Abu Dhabi, in most of the malls in New York, in most of the malls in Frankfurt, in most of the malls in Qatar, in most of the malls in Singapore, in most of the malls in South Africa. You will see Abia, even in Ghana, Kenya, you understand, Addis Ababa, Nigeria will be in that area. We have done extremely well, and to be honest, it's like Abia is not only the first in that area, Abia has become the second, Abia has become the third, because there's nobody competing with Abia. And for several years, there are billionaires in this country, people who are billionaires doing nothing but supplying military boots and military wares to both the Nigerian Army, Nigerian Navy, Nigerian Air Force, Nigerian prisons, they call them correctional services today, immigration service, and even the civil defense. Now we have a governor who, through his commitment, has been able to change that narrative. He has been able to change that narrative, and we now have the military looking down to Abia for their supply. And because of that, you know about the opening of a NASCO,
yes,
which was done sometime last year. The Senate President was here and other very eminent personalities. You have heard about how 30 Abians, those were the first sets, I think others have gone and others have gone, were sent to study this modern shoemaking, packaging, because packaging is very key in manufacturing. You understand? Somebody said, why do people spend money on bottled water? That I just noticed that the pure water itself can also fill a particular size of glass. And that is the size of glass bottled water will fill. The difference is packaging. So if you have a good product and you are not able to package it very well, it becomes a problem. That's one. And then the other one is that Abia was seriously in decay. Abia was seriously decayed. And what they call the Abia area, that connects most parts of Osisioma, not only the Abia metropolis, that connects most part of Osisioma and most of the hill parts of Obimba, and even beyond. It was in serious decay. My church, the Presbyterian Church of Nigeria, some few years ago, gave me a letter to give the governor that I wanted to give him an award. I asked them, why do you want to give him an award? That, can you tell me one reason why you want to give this man an award? I was shocked when they said, our General Assembly office is at Calabar, but we have another office at Abia, along a Here Road. And they told me that for several years that we have not been able, no minister of the church or member of the church have been able to drive his vehicle to that GA office at the Here Road. That for the first time, immediately said that, I told them I would deliver the letter. I told them, I said, I just wanted to hear you say something. You understand? I said I would deliver the letter, and I took the letter and I delivered to the governor. All of us were at the Presbyterian Church of Nigeria, Yaba, when he was given that prestigious award. So he has been able to do so much in the Abia area. He has been able to do so much in terms of infrastructure. He has been able to do so much. So, and it's a pity when you know that there are people who have not been in Abia for 5 years. When people wind their mouth, they join and wind their mouth. You understand? See, let me tell you. Okay. First and foremost, I'm a journalist. Yes. I studied mass communication at University of Lagos. Yes. What I do once in a while, I travel from here to Lagos by road. Even if I have money for flights, I travel. You see, there are experiences that people should have. You don't just sit at the comfort of your house in Abuja or somewhere, you begin to talk. Some time ago, we had somebody who was a former commissioner of this state talking about abandoned Mboro Road. You can imagine. And that person failed to realize that that Mboro Road has been commissioned. That road connecting Mboro and Abreba is in use that has been delivered by the governor. So at times people make noise without trying to. There may be some other areas that needs the attention of the governor. I cannot say that he has done everything. He has not done everything. There are areas that needs his attention. And I believe that he still have 1 year to go. And I believe that he will do something in those areas. And I believe that whatever he's unable to do, that the next person will take over.
So on a final note, on a very final note, what are you going to tell Abians as regards your party, the PDP, on a final note?
PDP is the way to go. Let's have confidence in PDP. PDP is a better story. PDP, as I said, you can accuse PDP of corruption as some people did in the past. But with that corruption, we were able to provide dollar for less than 200 naira. We were able to provide a bag of rice for less than 10,000 naira, 9,000 naira, for less than 9,000 naira. We were able to provide tickets from Owerri to Abuja for 8,000 naira, for 7,500, for 12,000 maximum. We did all those things at that time. But today, everything has changed. And throughout the PDP government, Southeast, Abia was very, very secure. Today, kidnapping has taken over everywhere. Even Boko Haram, that was still existing at a certain level, has gone much more than it was under the PDP government. We are committed to recover Nigeria. Support PDP and let's recover Nigeria.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Nigerians and Abians, for watching this show today. I know you've enjoyed, and it's up to you to make up your mind on issues that have been raised and discussed on this show. Thank you very much. My name remains Emeniki Rebude and Cover Show. And wait for us again on Thursday for another line of this discussion. Thank you and God bless. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Yeah. Tom.